Hi again, and welcome back to installment number 2 of the Wills and Estate Planning University. Today's episode is going to deal with the probate process. In this episode, we will tell you what probate is, basics of how it works, where I tend to see problems as an estate planning attorney, and whether or not you can avoid probate. So let's dive into it. First of all, what is probate? Probate is simply the government set up process that is administered by a court that basically transfers a decedent's, that means a dead person, assets to the decedent's family members or other individuals specified by the decedent. Question number 2, how does the probate process work? It's pretty straightforward, and I hear a lot of people that are afraid of it, but really, unless there are going to be a lot of fights within your family or your beneficiaries, probate's a really simple, inexpensive process that really works wonderfully. It's one of the best parts of our judicial system, in my opinion. But the way it works is your personal representative, that's whoever you designate to manage your estate after you pass away, will first file a petition to be appointed as personal representative. And from that point, usually the estate is unsupervised, meaning the court just lets the personal representative and his or her lawyer basically manage the estate until it's all done. So once the personal representative is appointed, then the personal representative basically gathers up all of the assets of the estate. That can be real property, cars, artwork, guns, silver, jewelry, all of those things, gathers them up, protects them, makes sure that they're secure, and then distributes them according to either the decedent's will, if the decedent had a will, or by intestate succession, which we talked about in episode 1 of our Estate Planning and Wills University. Next thing that the personal representative is required to do is notify all of the beneficiaries that the decedent passed away and notify creditors. Then the personal representative distributes whatever assets are left and then gives an accounting to the court and then closes the estate. It's pretty straightforward. Again, it's a really nice process as long as it's well planned, which leads us to our next question. And that is, where as an estate planning attorney do I tend to see problems arise? This is pretty simple. There are 2 major areas when someone passes away that I see problems arise. Number 1 is no estate planning. If there's no will, no discussion, no planning about what's going to happen with the estate, that can be a recipe for disaster. Not always, but if there's going to be a disaster, that's about half the time when it happens. The second time that I see it happen, and this might be even more common, is when a family or an individual does what I call homegrown estate planning. In other words, without going and seeking professional advice, they start transferring their property to their children, or putting their children's name on their bank accounts, or putting their children's name on titles to cars, and various other kinds of things that people tend to do, thinking that they're going to protect their assets. In the worst case scenarios, what I've seen is manipulative children who get their parents to transfer all of their land to them and then kick them out. So those are the kinds of things that cause trouble. The other big thing that tends to cause trouble within a decedent's estate is when the decedent fails to discuss with his or her beneficiaries what the plan for the estate is. If one child is thinking that he is going to get 25% of the share and his sister gets it all, that tends to create problems, especially if there isn't a good reason for it, or more importantly, if the parent didn't talk to their child about that. And our last question is, can I avoid the probate process? And the answer to that is sometimes you can, and oftentimes you can. Most estates, with most people I come in contact with, using things like a well-drafted will, maybe a transfer on death deed for properties, and death beneficiary nominations for bank and investment accounts, we can generally set up an estate to where your interaction with the probate process is either none or very, very limited. So Stand by for some more videos on this process as we focus October on our wills drafting and estate planning. And hope you enjoyed this video. Feel free to reach out and ask for questions, leave us comments, and I look forward to meeting you. Have a great day.